Hey everybody, welcome back to Harris Family Adventures. All right, you want to go downtown, walk around Breckenridge? First, we have to walk down the stairs. Now, I talked about this a little bit on our condo tour. We are staying at the Pine Ridge condos in Breckenridge, and we were 12E, which basically equates to being on the 4th floor, and there's no elevator access, so going down is never that big of a deal. Ooh. Going up can really take it out of you. And actually, I forgot, when we go to like the gym or we go to downtown, we actually walked in an additional 10 steps. These are the ski lockers down here. We haven't utilized the ski locker for anything, but then this takes us out to the path that we can walk. So the parking lot you may have seen, that was on the other side, and then we take this path. So we'll actually end up walking by the hot tub. You can see it up there on the left. It's kind of like that little house type of thing. This was a Monday. This was September 26th. So the fall leaves are changing. We're getting some fall foliage. Walking downtown is something that Reece and I do probably at least 3 times a week. On this day, he wanted to get a new yo-yo. My mother-in-law had bought him a yo-yo the week before. He's very good at yo-yoing, but his string had gotten tangled and it was just kind of a mess. So he was going to buy a new yo-yo. So you'll see we're going to go to the toy store. So what is happening in this video, Heather? So like I said, we're going to walk downtown. This is our walk. We do it without too much of a struggle. I will say, while it's only a couple of blocks away, if you have anyone that struggles with mobility, the walk back up, it doesn't look downhill, guys, but it is downhill going into town, and it is uphill coming back to the condo and then all of those steps. So when we had family visiting, we would just drive down and we would park. There's lots of parking lots around there. And then you just pay with an app. So it's very easy to do. So yes, so we walked down all of this way. It was a nice day. Here's the other thing to know about Breckenridge. God, I didn't even tell you what we're doing yet. Okay, hold on. Here's the other thing to know about Breckenridge. On this day, it was like 57 degrees, which if you saw our Oktoberfest video, it was the same temperature that day, but it feels so much warmer. And in one of the stores we went into, there were people from Florida and they were buying t-shirts because they said, well, we checked the weather forecast and it said like 60s, and for us that's really cold, so we brought like sweatshirts and sweaters, but it feels hot here. It does feel so much warmer. Okay, so what are we doing today? We are gonna walk down into town. The purpose was to buy a new yo-yo for Reece, and then we're just gonna walk along Main Street. We go in a couple of stores. At this point, we've been in almost all of the stores. There is one store that don't allow photographs or any kind of video, so I didn't take any there, but we'll just go in a couple stores. I'll show you some prices of some things, and then also we'll look at some menus outside of different restaurants so you can kind of get a good idea of different food sets options and what the cost is for that. So all right, so we've walked down. That was 4 o'clock road that we walked down. There's a roundabout there. And then this is the Riverwalk Center parking lot. So this is one of the parking lots that we've parked at before. And again, you're thinking, Heather, you drive just a couple of blocks and park there? Yes, because again, the walk into town isn't a problem, but the walk out of town can be a bit of a struggle sometimes. So we walk here. Fun fact, lots of crosswalks here. It says, and that person did not stop, and they were like a Breckenridge city employee, but it says that it's Colorado state law that you have to stop for someone in the crosswalk, and most people are really good about it. So I don't know, we had good luck crossing the streets with that being a big deal. Now this was really exciting. This guy over on the left, he is putting up Christmas lights. Again, this was Monday, September 26th. So I don't know, we don't really go downtown in the evenings, and Reece had said like we need to come down when it's dark to see, like, are they just putting them up right now? Are they putting them up and like turning them on? We are a family that is all about Christmas. Like, we've already started listening to Christmas music, so that was really exciting to see. Like, okay, we're getting closer. We're almost there. This is that river that runs along kind of along Main Street. Like, you can't see it for most of the shops. It's kind of running in back of it a little bit. But yeah, sure enough, most of Oktoberfest just didn't exist anymore. They didn't have the wind socks up anymore, and it just ended the day before. There was still a couple of porta potties left, but for the most part, you wouldn't know that Oktoberfest had happened. And in fact, one place had their sweatshirts like 50% off because they said Oktoberfest. Okay, here's the yo-yo selection. I know, this is the kind of content you came for. There were yo-yos from, I think 6 was the cheapest, up to 13, but then they also just had yo-yo strings. So that is what he spent his money on. He is a good consumer because his yo-yo was fine. It just needed the string fixed. So we actually, now that I think about it, this was yesterday. We haven't put the string on yet. But yeah, lots. And this is a huge toy store. There's also a parking lot kind of behind it, so you can enter from that way as well. So just showing you all of the toys. Quick note, so one of the reasons we didn't get his yo-yo string on is because I had said, as part of homeschool, one night per week he needed to make dinner, like find a recipe, think about all the ingredients he needs, and make dinner. So last night he went to make shepherd's pie, and everything just takes a little bit longer when you're not, you know, an old hack at it like I am. Like peeling potatoes just takes him a little bit longer, and browning hamburger just takes him a little bit longer. So when we got back, I was like, we got to start dinner, bud. And so we started that, and while it was in the oven, we went to the hot tub. So that's been a really fun thing. I think it's made him appreciate cooking more. So here's some Legos. I was trying to get the prices. They didn't really show up, but it was about, I feel like it's about the same prices that you would pay at like Barnes and Noble. It's typically where we get our Legos. But yeah, tons of different, just kind of like sections of this toy store. They've always been nice. Sometimes they're super nice, but they've always been at least nice. So, sorry, I just ate breakfast. There we go. It's like I really want to make a point. Here is a fun section. It's the games. They have so many games, like so many games. And then I liked these, like these are just, even if you were just coming to stay for a little bit and you just needed like a deck of cards or a little game to play, they have all of these little types of games. I think that phase 10 was like $12 to buy it, which yeah, that's more expensive than Target, but if you're in Breckenridge and it's raining or something, that could save the day. They also have a lot of books, and that whole back wall is puzzles, like, well, and then the books, but yeah, so many puzzles. Games on this side as well, and they had games for all ages. So sometimes, you know, with little ones, they can't really play the games that everybody else is playing, but yeah, they kind of took care of that for them, and they've got games for all of the ages. They've got a whole Melissa and Doug section, which is so fun. We're kind of out of the Melissa and Doug phase, but I always a huge fan of that. And again, toys for all the ages. It's huge. Okay, so we're back onto Main Street. This is a cookie place. It's a very good cookie place. Very good. Reece is always making sure I'm right behind him, so good safety. This, I've said it multiple times now, but this is a Monday. There did seem to be a group of women, because we would just see like women coming into stores with name tags, so I don't know, but otherwise it's pretty dead. It really is. This is a nice time to go, is on a weekday. On the weekends, you've got strollers, and you've got dogs on leashes, and you've got groups of people that are trying to stay together and decide where to eat. I just can get aggravated. There's a stroller right there. Again, the flowers, if you saw our Oktoberfest video, Breckenridge really has beautiful flowers that line their streets. We also have that here at our condo, just these huge baskets full of flowers. And it is, you know, at this point, we've been here for about 4 weeks, so we're kind of used to it. But when you're walking downtown and there's people that are obviously kind of like here for the first time, they're like, oh my gosh, look at the flowers. Okay, really hard to see, but across the street there is a rock store. So the rock store is kind of next to the Riverwalk Center. It is amazing. We've gone almost every day. Well, there was a week where we went every single day because we went, and then when my dad, like my parents came, we took my dad, and then today we took my mom and my dad. And then, yeah, it was really fun. And again, when my mother-in-law, she had never been here and she needed to just get like a little gift for someone who was watching some pets. And she said, well, now downtown, do they have like a, oh, I don't know, like a gift shop of some kind? And I just was like, oh, you've never been to Breckenridge? She said, no. And I said, oh, yeah, we'll take care of you. So there's lots of stores. There is street parking. So if you are a good parallel parker, you can park there, and it's that same app that you used to pay for it. Now this is way to the south part of Main Street. That Stir Pan Creamery you can see there, they have the rolled ice cream. So I wanted to feature that. This is just kind of like a little, I don't want to say strip mall because it's classier than that, but it's kind of like that. There's a tattoo parlor, there's bars, there's restaurants, there's an oxygen bar. I think there's a place to do Pilates. There's a tanning place. So just kind of one place right after another. There are lots of bike rental places, so this is one of them. But in Breckenridge, if you want to rent a bike, no problem. No problem. You can rent bikes everywhere you look. I feel like there are bike rentals. So yeah, they have some outdoor seating available here. A lot of places have outdoor seating, and we have started to see the emergence of the little space heaters come along with that. When we first got here, nobody needed that, but now at one place at least, I for sure saw a couple of them out. So they are getting ready for the changing of the seasons too. Like I said, we're late September, and most of the time the highs have been between like 60 and 65, probably about that much. So over across the street there is, this is the big crosswalk. If you've come south side of Main Street, this is the big crosswalk. There's like 3 crosswalks, and it takes forever. Like the light takes forever. That was the sign welcoming you to Breckenridge. But yeah, like over there is the Main Street station with lots of shops. Here is an art gallery. That's so fun. And we go in there every time we come to Breckenridge, usually about once a year. And they're very chill and cool. And I mean, I'm not going to be buying a huge painting. And I think that that's obvious, but just look around. Like if you see a store, even if you're like, I'm not interested, just look around. Okay, this was a store we had never been in before. So we're like, okay, we'll go down here. And they had dogs, and they're just like sleeping in the doorway. There's a French bakery. There's these other little stores here. I'm trying to like point out things to Reece too. Like, let's go this way. That's what you kind of see my finger in the corner there. The pizza place has been under construction forever, but it's open and it always smells so good. So good. So yeah, there's just like little stores now. Some stores have signs like closed due to short staffing. This was also Rosh Hashanah, so we had a couple stores that were closed for that reason. But our Christmas store was also closed. There's a Christmas store here, and we also love that. And Reece has decided he would like to work there also. So at this point, he wants to be an ENT, a vineyard owner in Tuscany, and work at the Christmas store. So we got a lot going on. But again, you can kind of get a feel here for just kind of how empty those sidewalks are. I know it's not handy always to take off on like a Monday in September, but that would be the time to come and kind of take it all in and not be feeling crowded or overwhelmed. You can see some of the trees there. Again, they're turning. There's a lot of seating available. Oh, we're going to look at a menu here. So let's see. This is Cool River, and they have breakfast all day. So this is a fun game that we play. What would you order if we were eating here? So you can see then they have sandwiches as well. It looks like the Reuben is about $13 and a roast beef sandwich is about $14. So not terrible. It looks like they come with like chips or something as well. So sometimes that's where they get you. You know, they say a sandwich is this much, but then it just comes with a sandwich. You gotta have some chips or some French fries or something to go with it. So in this place, it did advertise breakfast is available all day. Now right down the street, and you can see Reece is pointing out the Swiss Haven. This place is crazy expensive. French onion soup is $16 for soup with onions. I mean, yeah, it might have some cheese and some croutons, but and then the fondue is like $43. And I don't think I've ever had like official fondue. of course I've had, cheese dip. But here is the Blue Stag Saloon. So again, they have hamburgers and some pizzas and appetizers and salads and that type of thing. I'm trying to look here. It looks like the big hamburger, well, the cowboy burger is about $18. So that, for me, that feels very high. That feels really high. The build your own was $12, so maybe you can make it. This is one of our favorites. So it doesn't kill you, makes you stronger, except for bears. Bears will kill you. And that was only $10, which I think is a steal of a deal. This is at Shirt and Ernie's. So that's the name of a store. They have lots of fun t-shirts. This is one that my mother-in-law had loved the week before. But that one was like $25. I don't know why that one was so much more expensive, but you can just see lots of clothes. Now, here's the thing is, once you go into one of these stores, you tend to see those same designs and that type of thing at multiple stores. So, and they tend to have the same prices. I'm sure there are many stores, not all, many are owned by like the same company, and they just have different storefronts. So here was a kid's sweatshirt. It was $25. It had that weird like circle thing though. This is actually a story that we had gotten Reece a hooded sweatshirt. I think it was $25 the week before when we were shopping with my mother-in-law. It was a cold day. It was a rainy day. Reece had not dressed for cold and rainy. So there's me. I kind of reinforced that behavior by buying him a hooded sweatshirt. But I knew I was going to buy him like a hooded sweatshirt at some point during our journey here. So I got him one there and he really likes it. So money well spent. And I mean, $25 for a hooded sweatshirt, I don't feel like that's terrible. So here's an adult sweatshirt. Let's see. This was $35, which I feel like $35 for just a sweatshirt, not a great deal. This place I liked because I don't know if you saw that trash can back there. This is a really soft, like thin sweatshirt that I really liked. One time, a couple years ago, they just had clearance sweatshirts in the garbage can. I mean, it was a clean, it wasn't like a used garbage can. And I still love it. I still have it. Okay, over on the left here, they had rain jackets. And I think those are beautiful. And they're nice, and they say Breckenridge, and they're $35. I think that's a good deal. $35 for a nice rain jacket. My mother-in-law bought herself one, and then she wore it like all the next day because she was like, I just really like it. And I like these. Kind of just a basic sweatshirt. It looks like it's $30 for a basic hooded sweatshirt. I don't think that's too terrible. So overall, Shirt and Ernie's has been a place that we've gotten sweatshirts quite a few times over the years. Lots of colors and styles available. Lots of places have socks, so don't think if you're looking for a pair of socks, it's going to be hard. You're going to find them. There's a person just laying on that bench. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah. So here, oh gosh, got a little bit of my finger there, but as we're walking now, we're going to see some real estate. So you can see Reece and I there as well. Real estate tends to be quite expensive. That has been a fun thing. I love, I've been a house hunter since Suzanne Wong. If you remember Suzanne Wong as the narrator of House Hunters, they didn't even tell you what the prices were when House Hunters first came out. Now they tell you. But anyway, I love looking at real estate, and that was something that we did with both my mother-in-law and my parents. Is I would drive up into the higher altitude homes, and they are just beautiful. I mean, we didn't go in, but you can just see that they're beautiful. Okay, there's a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 2-bath for like 1.2 million. Anyway, yeah, and just look at the houses and then look them up on Zillow and be like, oh, 15 million. Cool. Yeah. That was one of the stores that was closed for Rosh Hashanah. They had been giving out free face lotion samples earlier though, so kind of bummed I missed out on that. There's the crepe cart that usually has a long line. I think the cheapest crepe is $10. I am not a crepe fan. I'm actually not a huge pancake fan, and crepes are basically just thin pancakes, so that is not a place that we have stopped, but it typically does have a very long line. It's kind of a nice quick grab and go. There's not a lot of quick grab and go options. There's ice cream, there's cookies, and then there's crepes. There is a Subway towards the north side of town. All right, so we're at another restaurant here. Kind of see again, we have some of the basics. You'll see a lot of the same types of foods and that type of thing as we walk along. So you can decide. Now, what was interesting here is they had, well, they had some game day specials, and then they had some Sunday specials as well. So you can see that some of their specials there, some of their margaritas. A lot of places also have happy hours, and then they have happy hour deals. And then this is right next door. This is Rita's Mexican place. So I would say if you are wanting to do some kind of like go out to eat but not spend so much, maybe look for some of these like Sunday specials or look for happy hour specials. Here is a smokehouse. And at this point, Reece and I were kind of getting hungry. And again, we play the game. What would you get if you were going to eat here? And he saw they had mac and cheese. So he was like, I would get mac and cheese. They do have kids meals. I will say this, even at the places that it seems like it's kind of expensive. Oh, Frito pie. Didn't even notice that before. So there you can see 12 years and younger kids meal, $10 for a meat, 2 sides and a drink. The kids meals seem to be really good deals. Really good deals. There's a Starbucks. So there is a Starbucks in town. It's just a little yellow house on Main Street, and you would maybe miss it. There, like I said, there's a Subway and a Starbucks, and I think that's the only kind of like chain restaurants that they have in all of Breckenridge. For Justin's birthday, which had been the week before, he wanted KFC. So he went up north to Frisco. They have some more just kind of like fast food restaurants up there. KFC isn't a restaurant we go to very often. So yeah, he was going to treat himself. All right, here is Eric's menu. This was one of the less expensive options. So you can see that they have hamburgers. They have hot meals and soups, and I think they have pizza as well. So this is when you actually kind of go downstairs to eat down there. But later we were crossing the street with 2 guys that were carrying boxes from this place. Oh, I know they have pizza because they are carrying pizza boxes, and it smelled so good. It smelled so good. So I can see like the quesadilla is like $13, which I don't feel like is too bad. They have wings, and let's see, nachos are $13. So, I mean, honestly, that's probably what we would pay back home in Nebraska. So, not too bad. Kids meals, again, $7. Under 12, Reese's 11. So, anytime it says 12 and under or under 12, I'm like, yep, that works for us. So, lots of options there. We ordered pizza from a place that isn't, they're not really along Main Street. They kind of are. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Here's the Columbine Cafe. Anyway, we ordered from Northside Pizza, and I thought it was really good. It was a little bit expensive, but I thought it was good. So here they have like toad in a hole, 2 pieces for $10, a breakfast sandwich for $8, chicken and waffles for $13. So again, don't feel like that's a terrible price. I don't know who would order dry. Who is going to go out and pay $5 for a bowl of cornflakes? That's a little bit crazy, but I'm hoping not many people do that. They also had like sandwiches and hamburgers. This place is only open till 1:30 though. So that's kind of something to be aware of too. And I know that there was a couple places when I was looking where I wanted to order food for my birthday that were closed on Mondays, or they were closed on Tuesdays, or things like that. So just kind of, you know, always be looking and always be aware. Their kids menu is down here. You guys, look at those prices. It's $5. $5. Such a good deal. Okay, this is another store. We hadn't been in this store before. You can see that hooded sweatshirt is $47. This place is not owned by whatever business owns a lot of the t-shirts places, because a lot of these designs we hadn't seen before, but I didn't really love them. I'm kind of a simple is best type of person, so they just had so much going on, and the prices were a lot higher. $27 for a t-shirt. No, I'm not, no. Because most places, I would say a t-shirt, well, I showed you that one, it was 10 at Shirt and Ernie's. I would say a t-shirt is between 15 and 25 maybe, but a lot of the places, if they're 25, it's like, but you could buy 2 for 40 or something like that. So I don't know. And it was crowded in there and it was kind of hot. Yeah, see, that just has a lot. That just has a lot going on, and it's $44. And that rain jacket was, because I showed you that other rain jacket was like 35. I think that one was 50. No, and I like the other one better. It was prettier. So a lot of places, because they're in these older buildings, also have like an upstairs or an around the corner, or they have a couple entrances, that type of thing. Let's see, 25 for that long sleeve t-shirt, and that's, I guess that's not terrible. But white, that's always a problem. White. But yeah, that's too much color. I wasn't a fan. Like I said, we had never been in this store before, and we had gotten our yo-yo string. Mission accomplished. So yeah, we kind of looked around like, that's too much. That's too much. So I do have one hooded like t-shirt kind of material in mind that I found. There's a t-shirt for $17, so not terrible. All right, we're back at another restaurant. Let's see, the Mother Loaded Tavern. So it's funny, they call it rabbit food. And then they have karaoke, and they had different musicians and that type of thing. There are not a ton of stoplights along Main Street. There's lots of crosswalks available though. This was one of the places that we did have to stop at a stoplight, and actually this is where we smelled that guy's pizza. Oh, it smelled so good. There's also a lot of jewelry stores. That's a jewelry store there on the corner. So there's lots of jewelry stores, and some of them are combined with rock stores. There's another little gift shop. We've been in that one before. And then this is when we realized with disappointment that our beloved Christmas store was closed. So they said they were just closed for the day. They should be open now. But yeah, we've loved that store. It smells so good, and they play Christmas music. So we're a fan. We hadn't really investigated this area very much. Honestly, normally we got as far north as the Christmas store, and then we would kind of turn around, but we decided to explore. This paint or whatever, that was peeling off. That was kind of a weird thing, but they have a faux restaurant back there. They had just kind of some other businesses like home security and that type of thing. But here again, it's just pretty. You know, you're walking down the street, and I was really glad somebody's like, oh, look at that, because it wasn't something I had necessarily noticed having been here, and things slowly changing colors. It's not something that I had noticed as much, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really pretty. If you're walking down the main street in our town, you're not going to have that view as you walk by. So this, towards the north end, it's not quite as shop filled. It's more kind of businessy types of places along the north end, but there are some restaurants. So again, if you are making the walk along Main Street, if you're like, hey, let's go down to Main Street and find some place to eat, I would start maybe at the north side. There's going to be more as you head south, but you don't want to miss out on some of those that are on the north side. So here's a restaurant called Cafe Menu. And I do think this was just a breakfast place. There's also Daylight Donuts. We didn't walk that far north. Very good donuts. I got those for my birthday. Those were very good as well. So you can see they have paninis. It looks like between $10 and like $13 for a panini. I don't know if it comes with anything. That's the thing. It doesn't come with anything. Then you gotta add a little bit more on there. But bagel sandwiches and salads and all types of just snacky kinds of things like that. That's an old house that's just kind of been boarded up. Here's another shop. Now some of these shops they advertise sell cold drinks, and they do. It's $4 for a 20 ounce. Nope, not doing that. If you bring a water bottle, there are places like the tourist center that they have a place that you can fill up your water bottle. So just kind of know that going into it. The place we had passed back there was an oxygen place. They sold oxygen. They sold a high altitude kit as well. I don't know what's in that. We haven't ever gone in that store. Here's another place, the Tap House. So some menus there. You can see like fish and chips. It looks like it's $17. You can get some things a la carte. They have tacos. I know their quesadilla is $10 because when we play, what would you order there? Reese chooses the quesadilla. Here is another saloon. This place is always very busy. Like there's always people eating, lots of people eating outside here too, typically when we've walked by. I think it's called the, goodness, let's see if we can see it somewhere. I don't know. You can see those people, they were looking at the menu too. So, yeah, they have lunch and dinner. It looks like hamburgers and soup and salad combos and that type of thing. So people seem to really like that place. There's usually a lot of people that are looking and headed in. A margarita, that type of thing. If you're looking for that, again, I would see if they have any kind of happy hour specials though, or like Sunday specials or something along those lines. They have the new festival banner up. We had just finished Oktoberfest and they were getting ready for the Spirits Festival, which was in about 2 weeks up at the Beaver Run Resort. So they had that up as well. Now I wanted to show you, I think there it is, that little like covered wagon looking thing. That's a jerky cart. He sells jerky there. It's usually open, but not always. And then we start to walk back, and I didn't capture it all, but this is the beginnings of our walk back from Main Street back up to our condo. So I hope you enjoyed this little walkabout with us. We like going down there and seeing different things. Probably won't go down today, supposed to rain, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can let me know. Be sure to subscribe if you like these type of videos. I've got lots of Breckenridge stuff. You can look at the playlist below as well. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love, you won't ever be alone.